On test we have Citroen range-topping Grand C4 Picasso diesel that rolls out of the showroom for $45,400 plus the usual on-road costs. Our test car came with optional lazuli blue metallic paint $800, and a rather sumptuous black and beige Napa leather interior $5,000, bringing the as-tested price to $51,200 plus on roads. For budget-conscious families, there is a cheaper and new for 2018 1.6-liter petrol variant available that starts at $38,490. But our focus is on the grandest of Grand C4 Picassos, and in terms of features it does and disappoint. Standard inclusions abound at every level. On the safety front, the Citroen crams in the active driver assist pack adaptive cruise control, autonomous emergency braking, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, and driver attention alert that sends audible warnings when the car detects the driver is becoming drowsy. There are 6 airbags that cover the occupants of the first 2 rows but no protection for the third row, a bit of a letdown that has and impacted on its safety rating. However, with the Grand C4 Picasso sporting a 5-star ANCAP rating tested in 2014, there are 360-degree camera and front and rear sensors, helping with those tricky parking maneuvers should you choose not to use the standard park assist that does the job for you. Infotainment comes courtesy of a 7.0-inch color touchscreen featuring a rather excellent proprietary 3D sat-nav system, Bluetooth phone and audio streaming, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Their dual-zone climate control with vents in the second and third rows, although second and third row passengers had better juice up their devices before a long road trip since there are no charge points in either, with 12V, auxiliary and USB points reserved exclusively for front seat occupants. There's no questioning Citroen be different, feel good philosophy is at play with the Grand C4 Picasso, or with any Citroen for that matter. The French carmaker has a history of doing things its own way, certainly when it comes to styling. From the outside, the Grand C4 Picasso looks like standard people mover fare, albeit a little less boxy than some others on the market. Once inside, though, is where Citroen predilection for be different comes to the fore. It is, appropriately enough, almost a work of art, a melding of light and functionality that just makes you, well, feel good. Being inside the Grand C4 Picasso is like being inside an airliner, complete with class distinction. The front seats are like being in first class, spacious, comfortable and with all the creature comforts within easy reach, and even more so for the front passenger who scores a reclining seat along with an extendable footrest. It not quite lie flat, but it bloody close. Second row occupants are treated to 3 distinct seats as opposed to a bench, and while they retain the look and feel of the front pews, are less spacious, think premium economy, while third row occupants have to make do with the jump seats usually reserved for flight attendants. Great for short stints, not so much for long-haul traveling. The interior is a light and airy space, thanks largely to the panoramic roof and the glass A-pillars. Lights oozes into every corner, and thanks to the optional Napa leather trim finished in predominantly beige off-white, the cabin feels breezy and fresh. It is, in short, a lovely place to be. Ergonomically, the Citroen has its quirks, because of course it does. Everything is there, but nothing is where it should be. It is as if the old Spanish master himself had designed the interior. Sit in the driver's seat and look straight ahead for your instrument binnacle and you won't find it. Instead, the Citroen instrumentation is a digital affair located within the rather voluminous 12.0-inch centrally mounted screen. It's unnerving at first, but you do get used to it. Locating the gear selector first time, too, is challenging. It a little stalk on the right side of the steering wheel, one that looks suspiciously like an indicator stalk. Again, an eccentricity that once you get used to it, works just fine. The seats are supremely comfortable too, and feature a massage function as well as heating. But again, the unseen hand of Picasso is at play, with the controls mounted down low on the seat base. The second row does and quite match the luxurious feel of the front row, although Citroen modular seats vibe special. In keeping with the airliner feel, there are drop-down tables in the backrests of the front pews with a handy strap for holding iPads and the like. And to keep pesky sun glare off those devices, the second row also features window blinds in addition to tinted windows. The individual seats slide fore and aft too, while the seat backs recline. If you have no third row passengers, getting comfy in the second row isn't a problem. Like most 7-seaters, the third row is best reserved for short trips or for little ones, with leg and knee room compromised. Still, They will be chill with the third row scoring its own air vents. Of course, using the third row for passengers severely impacts on boot space, with just a paltry 165 liters available with all three rows in play. That expands to 632 793 liters with the second row in play, depending on how far forward or back the seats are. But, using the Picasso as a load lugger opens up a pretty impressive 2181 liters of boot space, more than adequate for the average Carrefour or Maisons du Monde run. On the road, the C4 performs admirably, thanks in part to its 4-cylinder 2.0-liter turbo diesel that puts out 110 kilowatts of power and a respectable 370 Nm of torque at a very usable 2000 RPMs. Moving off the line is a cinch, and while it won't break any land speed records, it's not sluggish either. Citroen claims a 0-0 km/h sprint time of 10.2 seconds.